What's up, guys? It's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy trying to bring you some down-to-earth content. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Jujutsu Kaisen series. It has been a long while, but I am finally picking up this series again. I want to get it under my belt. And today we are going to be watching episode 5, titled Fearsome Womb Part 2, or Cursed Womb Must Die Part 2. I'm getting very conflicting results when I look this episode up on Google, so I do not know. I'm calling it Fearsome Womb. Watch me be wrong, of course. But I don't want to take up too much time. I want to just get my memory. I just want to throw myself back into Jujutsu Kaisen episode 5 and really jog my memory, get the cogs and gears turning again. So let's not even waste any more time. I'll talk during the episode. Let's go. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's watch, shall we? Sukuna is still in Yuji's body. I remember that. And I have to see how Megumi is going to even attempt to go up against him. And there's our boy right now. I forget where Nobara is. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, I don't think. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're about to witness a harsh hierarchy difference. He's not able to switch off the light. Come back. Damn, okay, okay. Putting on a show. We're not even 2 minutes in. He about to rip his own heart out. Ah! Damn, we getting bloody. Oh, that's a fucking shot right there. That's a frame. Look at it still beating. He'd toss that shit away. Yikes. Ripped his heart out. Yuji dead. Obviously ain't dead, but explain how the fuck that's gonna work. His whole heart ripped out. How do you even put that back in? Not like, you know, nice, cleanly, neatly, surgically removed, just yoink. Oh, Cursed Womb Must Die. Fuck me. So, Fearsome Womb was wrong. That's good to hear. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot he lost his hand. But it got restored, yeah. I remember that. But in the moment, I forgot that he had his hand removed. But that Sukuna healed it. Yeah, I can't imagine that not having a heart in the host body does not weaken you somehow. Yeah, I just don't think you're up to snuff. You can bring out your Pokemon, but I think Sukuna's been waiting for this. You got one hit in, but I think he was giving you that. Hands in his pockets. He's reading him like a coloring book. He's just playing with him. He could have died a minute ago. That's another good shot. Damn. And he doesn't seem to give a shit. Yeah, he's smiling. Yeah. Now, do his Shikigami don't die permanently. I'm flying through the air right now. Yeah, Sukuna's been alive for what... Not alive, but Sukuna's been around for 1,000 years. That's a long time to, you know, master your own jujutsu techniques, but also pretty much witness and go up against any number of jujutsu sorcery. So this is light work for him. This is nothing. We need some backup, but I don't even know if that would do anything. So destroyed. Does destroyed mean gone, gone? Or, you know, bringing him back? See, yeah, he's reading him like a coloring book. He, like... He's teaching him. Yeah, okay. But what, that's weird, ironic timing. True, the only fair thing about life is how unfair it is to everyone. Who is she again? I forget. I got this big ass smudge on my monitor that's really making it annoying. Okay, I got wait. Did I fucking sneeze into my monitor? What the hell? What you gonna do? Karma doesn't happen on its own. It actually does, but... Another cog in the machine. I always like in anime how it's like a 3-minute scene in your head of like your inner thoughts while like your enemy's just standing waiting. Like 3 minutes in your head goes by, but it's like 2 seconds in real life. Did he sense his resolve? Sacred treasure, 8-handled. That was anticlimactic. Couldn't bear to see a good person like you die. Selfish emotional reasons. It was for him, self. But do the ends justify the means? And then dead. Just because I think what you're doing is correct doesn't mean what I'm doing isn't. It's not mutually exclusive. He brought Yuji back, but that means he about to plop to the ground. That splatter sound kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, so now how the hell you saving him? I need to know this. Am I going to see him truly be brought back to life? Or is there going to be some loopholey way? Like him in spirit, but not in... him in essence, but not bot, or what? I do not recognize these people if they were in previous episodes. I do not know. There's no way. He's the king of curses. I know what you were saying. That's cool. Can only see him, the one human. He has a smile on his face, which, if you only saw him from the neck up, you'd think he's a protagonist, but surrounded by these three people, not making me feel so much. By killing oneself, get rid of him. Oh, so that guy is a Jujutsu sorcerer. He's the one that put a catalyst to Yuji's death. Instead of a straight execution, have this happen. As I understand it. Could be entirely misinterpreting and misconveying what's going on. Whoa, okay, hey. Take it easy. What do you mean take him apart as you please? Okay, there's Nobara, okay. Has she lost? Okay. Let's have that facade. There you go. Yeah, we. Anybody who says that is trying to hide their true emotions, trying to be prideful. Yeah, it's got to be humid and hot as hell. I was in Japan in March and I was hot. I can only imagine summer. A panda? Who speaks English? Not English, but speaks. What am I thinking? I'm reading the fucking subtitles. I'm an idiot. We are getting introduced to a lot of characters right now. Now, being someone whose memory is amazing with, you know, the actual narrative, but horrible with names, I'm screwed. Zenin. Inumaki. He only speaks in rice ball and that's fucking great. That's an easy name to remember. Panda. Okotsu. But he's not here right now. Yeah, we're kind of just ignoring that there's a talking panda. Well, we know what she means. Okay, he looks fucking badass. So the stereotypical battle episodes. Like a Budokai Tenkaichi tournament type shit. Budokai Heaven's Arena, whatever the thing was called in Naruto. Same thing. Settling down, we just had a dude get his heart ripped out. Yep, training arc. It's unavoidable. Reverse the roles of humans and curses. Yep, we're in no way transparent to ourselves. We are hypocrites in some small way or another every day. Liars, hypocrites. They're more straightforward, true, even if they're bad. Strongest Jujutsu sorcerer. Gojo. Okay. Did he though? So is that guy a good guy or a bad guy? I guess that's the entire point. I don't know. That's a good shot too. There's like 5 amazing frames in this episode. Holy shit. So, like the title of the episode noted, this episode concluded the battle against the special grade cursed spirit that began back in episode 4, where I left the series on hiatus. I left the series on hiatus because JJK, it was getting low views, and so I focused on the series that were receiving high views, Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, etc. Now, regardless of views, I want to just start completing these series and not leaving them sitting forever. This episode here had action, it had horror, it had great character development and dialogue, and it explored really interesting ideas like the nature of strength, survival, sacrifice, the dialogue between characters, namely Megumi and Sukuna, were just as great as the animation during the action sequences that MAPPA is dishing out. Props to them. That's the combination you're always looking for. And few pull it off, to have emotional stakes, intense action, and thematic depth in less than 25 minutes an episode. So, like I said, this episode picked up right from the cliffhanger of episode 4, which I'm sorry for the people, leaving those people who actually watch these episodes on. I'm sorry for that. Also, my memory held up during this hiatus in some areas, but during the episode, indeed, in other areas, it failed. In other certain regards to plot points and character points. But in essence, I know that Megumi, Nobara, Yuji, they were facing a special grade curse in some decrepit detention center. So episode 4 is where his hand got cut off, and this episode where his heart got ripped out. You know, it really conveyed and solidified Yuji's role as an interestingly unconventional shonen protagonist. They're in high school. You can still call it shonen, right? Because unlike typical heroes in anime and not in anime, typical heroes who triumph and win out even against the most formidable of opponents, either through sheer determination or training or natural ability, or frankly, even sometimes, main character syndrome and plot armor. Yuji meets his grim fate. He's being overpowered, dismembered, and even his heart ripped out of his chest and bleeding out and dying on the floor. It's all a loss, total demise, great display of vulnerability, and a visceral ultimate death rarely ever afforded to main characters in action shonen anime. Sure, it sets the stage for Yuji's resurrection, however it happens, but it also keeps you on your toes, or me on my toes, at least since I'm like the only person out here to have not watched JJK the whole show practically, but it keeps you or me on our toes because this way things come as a surprise. There's uncertainty involved. There's more tension, suspense, because really anything can happen to our main character, as we've seen. He's not invincible. None of our characters are. And that's what makes this world really interesting. And I'll get more into that in a bit. I have it in the back of my mind. So I think that highlights the fragility of humanity in this show's world in a powerful way. human strength against overwhelming forces. Having to rely on something greater, whether it's your allies, powers, curses, whatever, not just yourself. Yuji confronted his limitations. He was Icarus. He flew too high. He hit the ceiling and he crumbled, opening himself up to Sukuna to take over in last-ditch effort, desperation, only to have his heart literally ripped out in exchange. Sukuna asserts full dominance over Yuji. I don't think there is a greater show of rule and authority and, frankly, cruelty over your own body than having your heart ripped out. Sukuna wanted total control over his host. Their partnership was over. We watched the tension set up and build up, their ongoing battle for control over their shared body, and to see it culminate like that was fucking awesome. And getting back into the anime after such a long hiatus and watching that happen is, like, honestly the best thing to happen for me with this series, because one, I don't care about the views anymore, but two, it really boosts my eagerness and my interest to keep watching. I mean, you killed off your protagonist in the 5th episode. That's a bold move. And it tells me this series is willing to take risks. Definitely willing to be gory and nasty, because I was kind of surprised with how much blood there was in this episode, and I like that. And willing to be mature and willing to be dark. Not just the fact that Yuji died, but everything leading up to it in amalgamation. His friend's inability to save him giving himself up, and then his body being violated by Sukuna with his death. It's not glorified or dramatized. It's just raw and real in a world dominated by curses. Life is just simply fragile as hell, and we have to grapple with that fact. So, talk about emotional weight. Yuji's death compels you to reflect on his philosophy he shared in previous episodes. I remember, because it was such an important scene. His vow to live a life of meaning. And it's so incredibly ironic when you die in a world where survival is absolutely uncertain in the first place against supernatural forces greater than yourself. That sets up a very mature theme of how power can be completely divorced from moral obligation. Some people view power as a means to protect and serve others, Yuji, while other people revel in power as a means of chaos and destruction, Sukuna, sharing the same body. That's a key cornerstone philosophical divide here in this anime, and I'm really looking forward to that more. We're also introduced to so many new random characters, and that's a struggle for me. So, because while my memory is sharp when it comes to narrative, plot, exposition, everything like that, I suck at remember character names. So, we have a mysterious figure in formal garment robes with a 3 cursed creature demon posse with him. So I can't tell if he's good or not, if he's good or bad. Even though on the surface I would obviously say he's clearly bad. I didn't understand in the moment, and I didn't watch the episode again on my own. I just didn't understand how he knew, one, Yuji died. And, the way he talked about it made it sound like he had something to do with it or something. I don't know. I might just be dumb. I know they were discussing the downfall of the Jujutsu School, having to eliminate Gojo, step 1, and then step 2, bring Yuji and Sukuna to their side. But without a whole lot of context, or really any context, in fact, I just don't know if there's any, subterfuge or double play going on. And we have a new student who only talks in food ingredients for rice balls or something. I can't remember what it was. And we have a goddamn talking panda named Panda. And, he's just glossed over as if that's normal. I really hope these side characters aren't overly goofy. When I think back to other prominent anime, and particularly shonen, is where they mostly show up. It's goofy, eccentric side characters who usually and almost always make it or break it for me when it comes to my enjoyment of the show. Sometimes they can do some heavy lifting. Trigun, one of my favorite anime of all time. Vash Stampede, goofy. But a lot of times they are just not for me. I love comic relief and I love humor, obviously, when it's written well. But I don't like goofy for goofy's sake, taking you out of the story, especially when it's like when it interrupts or cuts into important moments, emotionally heavy moments. So we'll see with that. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'll like them and that they aren't just goofy for goofy's sake. The only thing I'm actually not so psyched on at all, or I'm more trepidatious or unsure about, is that only 5 episodes in and we're already doing the cliche typical inter-school fighting tournament. And so I guess you could look at it as a positive, that they're getting something so shonen iconic, but also overdone. They're getting it out of the way so quickly. That's what I'm trying to say. You can see it as a positive that they're getting something so shonen iconic out of the way so quickly. But I'm just tired of training arcs and training episodes and student fighting tournament battles. And that might only be me, since I've watched so much Hunter x Hunter, so much Naruto, so much Dragon Ball, DBZ, so much Yu Yu Hakusho, Hajime no Ippo I'm watching right now, that I'm just bored of it. But that's obviously my fault and my problem. And who knows? Well, I don't know. This tournament arc could be really good, so we shall see. And I think that is a perfect spot to leave today's discussion. All the positives I went over, the negatives I'm a little nervous about, and just the overall storytelling has been stellar so far in these first 5 episodes. So that is where I'm going to leave today's discussion. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button and let me know is really appreciated. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to stay in the loop in this community. Don't forget to keep the conversation going down in the comments below. Having said that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, stay you, and have a good one.